I apologize in advance for my monotone sounding voice. I don't talk a lot, but I really wanted to talk about this particular topic. The ending of Voltron Legendary Defender Season 8. Now, I like Voltron Seasons 1 to 7. That's a testament to how much I like the series. So I kept asking myself, why did it end the way it did? And I only watched the episodes 1 and 12 or 13 of seasons 8. And God, I hated both. Episode 1 I was okay with until the end. Not gonna lie. That was the first sign that I saw that shit was going to get real bad. And you know, I just kept asking it until today, where I finally had my answer to why it ended so badly. Now, it all started when I first saw the Tumblr post about the Twitter tea spilled by various people who knew people who worked on Voltron. And I was still kinda skeptical, but then again, what they said made a lot of sense. How they threw out their production Bible. A production Bible is basically the guide in writing a show. And that's just a big no-no. It's just a big no-no. No matter how much you don't like the first thing you wrote in the production Bible, you still have to go through with it. Most especially if your show or story has already been broadcasted. You have to keep it for the sake of continuity. Continuity, I mean. I'm so bad at this, I'm so sorry. So, that's one thing they did. Another thing was the writers, or most specifically the executive producers' disdain for certain ships in the fandom, and they shouldn't be. Ships are for fun, but then again, if your fandom is acting like an entitled brat, I would probably get a little miffed as well and would want to miff them like how they miffed them. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you don't. That's okay. Moving on. So, why did they do it? Answer: the fandom. Of course. No shit, Sherlock. Voltron is known as the most toxic fandom in the entire fandom world. And I can't blame you. Hearing what they did to the production staff was awful. Like, how up in your own arse are you to make threats over something so... I don't even... I'm just lost for words of the things they've done to the production staff, and if I were the production staff, I would want to screw you over, but not everyone. But the executive producers are like, nah, let's screw everyone over. So yeah, they basically made season 8 as punishment for all the shit the people or the entitled brats did to their production staff. And I'm like, okay, that still ain't justified. I understand why you did it, but that's still not justified. Like, there's so many good people in this fandom. So many people who are so passionate and just absolutely love it, but not to the point of being an entitled brat. And it's just a shame that they got their hearts broken over something they didn't do. Maybe they could have prevented it, but these could be from people who don't communicate. And I don't know that. I'm not gonna go into an investigation to confirm my suspicions, because frankly it's not a good way to spend time. searching for dirt. It's not a good way to spend time unless you're being paid or something, but still, I hope these people who have done the shit they've done learn their lesson. In fact, this is a good lesson for, not a good lesson, but a good warning to everyone who's being absolute garbage or being an absolute entitled brat to writers out there. You're not gonna get your way. You're just going to ruin things for everyone else if you continue to do the asinine things you are doing, such as death threats, threatening to spoil things when you're not supposed to, and so on and so forth. Just be a decent human being. Why is that so hard to do? What part of being a decent human being is so hard to do, you entitled brats? You've just ruined everything for everyone, and it didn't even have to be this way. It's not justified at all. The writers have so much power, and by the writers, I mean the executive producers, because the executive producers are the ones who are in charge of this whole thing. And if season 8 happened, it's not because the writers were bad at writing. It's the executive producers who allowed this garbage to happen. And I don't know. I think they should be concerned because it really affects their credentials. But that depends from person to person, because when you look at other big name, critiques from big name critics, they like season 8. They thought Alura's sacrifice was beautiful, and I did not at all. I did not like the fact that she had sacrificed so much. She has sacrificed everything and has gotten nothing in return. For her personally, she's lost her planet, her people, her culture, her father, her home, her other home, the Castle of Lions, and then she loses her life and goes into this proverbial afterlife, if there was one. God, I wish in the ending they just showed this afterlife. You know, the ending would have been salvaged if they just, shown the afterlife or something, because they heavily hinted that Unnerva and Allura were going to an afterlife, but they just focused on the paladins and imagined and basically portrayed Allura as dead to the world, dead to the universe, not existing anymore. She's just turned into this giant star or something. And that's just shit. And oh my god, Lance. You may have been the fandom favorite, but you did not deserve the ending you got. In fact, Lance has gotten the worst ending, worse than Allura, because Allura, she just ceased to exist to allow existence to happen, and in a way, it's okay because she doesn't have to suffer anymore. The one positive thing from her death, aside from, she saved the entire reality. But Lance, his entire reality is full of sadness and depression, and that's because he's the fan favorite. You poor boy. You didn't even get the character development you deserved. And everyone else just lost theirs. Lawrence could have been done better if they actually knew what they were doing, which is why the show Bible, they should have just stuck with it, but at the same time, they weren't even decisive if there was an endgame or not, and if they didn't have an endgame in mind, then have no endgame in the first place. It's not a requirement, so why do you try to push for it? They could have just let everyone be single without any heartache, but no, they had to give everyone heartache, except Shiro. But then again, it just feels shallow. His ending felt shallow. Sure, he was happy in the end, but still shallow. Still very, very shallow. And nobody deserves a shallow ending. Everyone deserves an ending that they gained from what they have experienced and what they have went through. So, yeah, enjoy the rest of this speed paint. I wanted to do a kallura ramble, but that's for another day because I don't have a bullet point system to explain why I like it so much. There are many metas on Tumblr you can read about, which explains it more eloquently than I can, as you can see that I have failed to do this video essay stuff, but I needed to do it because I don't talk a lot and I'm pretty good at public speaking. Kinda. I'm more willing to do it than other people, and I've conquered my stage fright, so I just wanna improve the way I speak, is all. Thank you for reaching me, and you are a good person. To me, at least. For just, what do you call it? Dealing with my rambles. So yeah, have a good day.